ụtụtụ ọma ụmụ Chineke, ụtụtụ ọma ndị ọma ndị ọma, ụtụtụ ọma ndị ọma m ji biri, ụtụtụ ọma. This is Raphael Chiamaka Jere, aka Pastor Vam Vam Vam. I bring you greetings and I bring you good tidings. And we can see how events are unfolding. We can see Biafra going the winning ways. And just like our Prime Minister promised us that we are going to get Biafra from diaspora. We are going to get Biafra from diaspora. Those of you that are in the zoo asking us, come to Nigeria, come to the zoo. What are you waiting for? Come and fight in the zoo. Ciao bello. Ciao bello. Come on, bene, grazie. Come and fight in the zoo. The question I have for you is, the fight you are fighting now, how far? You that is fighting to save Nigeria, to get Nigeria to work better, how far? You fought in Kogi yesterday, Abi? You fought in Bayelsa yesterday. But in Biafra land, those of you in Kogi and in Bayelsa, when we are saying no election, yeah, leave that, there must be election. Didn't you see the bloodletting? You saw corpses here and there, about in Bayelsa, kidnapping and all what have you. In Kogi, we saw unnecessary massacre in Kogi. But in Imo State, in the old Imo State of Biafra land, we said no election because we know what they are about to do. So in order not to validate them, to help them, to put a stamp on that their, ridicule of selection, we said no election. And we meant it. And Biafrans who understand what we mean and what we stand for, they stayed at home. And the next day, you see results they are bringing out for you. And so we knew it was going to happen that way. And then we made sure you stayed at home. And then for you to see it and confirm. So some of the idiots, like Uchemefo, and all these bingos, all these one Nigeria, thank you very much, my brother. All these DOS erats, they are saying no election. We are not part of it and all those nonsense. So what do they have to say? Now you didn't participate in election, but they brought out results. Isn't it? So that is how they roll. So we know that's how they roll. And we tell them we are not interested in how they roll. We have our own rolling. And then the only proof that you have today is that the way we roll, we have the authority. And the authority is that we declare what we want. And it happens. We say no election in Biafra land, no movement in Biafra land, lockdown in Biafra land. Everywhere is locked down. Lock and key. Like for example, Kigwe State, or Sioux State, lockdown. Lockdown. You saw it, no movement. Some of them came to the centers and were saying, where are the people that want to vote? Oh? Come and vote. Oh. Come out. Oh. Nobody is here. Did you see that? So that is, when people are saying, they come and vote and you have evidence. Which evidence is better that you did not vote? And it is obvious you did not vote. I greet you, sister. Where the fure? And it is evident you did not vote, and yet they bring a result. What if you went and you voted, and they will still bring the same results? Do you understand how we should be rolling now? Do you understand how we should be rolling now? So get in on this boat. We are taking you somewhere. And we're taking you nowhere else but Biafra. So there is a prophet that prophesied. When prophets prophesy good tidings like this, and they speak the mind of God and the truth of God, we publicize it, we share it, we make it come to you, we make it go viral. So there is this Yoruba prophet who prophesied, and you need to see it. He told them that the restoration of our indigenous freedom, that the delegitimization of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom is going to happen from diaspora, from abroad. It is not because he said it. It is because our Prime Minister have always said it, that we are going to bring Biafra from abroad. And now I am going to add the video to this my broadcast now, so that you will watch it, share it, and make it go viral. We are moving. And we're moving to the permanent site. And the permanent site is nowhere else but Biafra. Listen to that prophecy from that pastor, and also listen to our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Okukano. I am Raphael Chamakajere, aka Pastor Vam. We move. I'm here to do some laundry, you know. This is the place where things work. This is the place where things work. So right down in my house, there's a laundry. So when I have a load of clothes to wash that are so heavy, I just bring them here and I wash. Okay? So I decided to take the time to share the gospel of heaven with you. Oh yeah, watch this video, share, and make it go viral. I am Raphael Chamakajere, Pastor Vam. Airborne. Sọ̀rọ̀ kan before kí wọ́n tó bọ́ta.
Before Sunday Igboho came out.
Mo rí wípé
I saw
wọ́n máa mú wọn bínú.
That they will make him go.
Mo sọ jáde, kí ni yẹn dẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀?
And that will happen.
Baba Sunday.
Baba Sunday Igboho.
Ẹ má bínú ẹ ti parí iṣẹ́.
You've not completed your work.
Iṣẹ́ ṣì kù.
You still have a lot of work.
Ṣùgbọ́n tí mo gbọ́ ni underground planning.
But I said you should start underground.
Sà tó bá dé stage kan,
If you get to level,
àwọn olóṣèlú kan ló máa pè é. Ẹ kọ́lẹ̀.
Some politicians will
Wọ́n máa pè é pé
they will call you.
ṣe ready.
Are you ready to?
Torí wípé Nàìjíríà máa divide láti òkè òkun.
Because Nigeria will be separated from abroad.
Ẹ̀kan tí Nàìjíríà máa divide láti òkè òkun.
From abroad.
Ẹni tó bá sọ pé Nàìjíríà ò divide, ẹ sọ pé kó fọmọ ẹ̀rú bọ báwọn ọmọ tó kù ṣe ń kú, tẹ́bí ń pa wọ́n, táwọn aláìní ń sọnù, tí wọ́n kidnap àwọn èèyàn, kó fọmọ tiẹ̀ náà rúbọ, kó wá wo bó ṣe rí. Nígbà yà mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà ti pín, nígbà ìgbà tẹ́ pé a wà lórílẹ̀-èdè ní ìlú táwa yìí, àwọn kan ń gbádùn lórí ìjọba. Níbi tí constitution wọn yàtọ̀ sí ti Èkó, tẹ́ bá dé nọ́ọ̀tì, wọ́n ní ẹ lè gbébọn náwọn area kan, ṣe lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ Nàìjíríà, ẹ̀dẹ̀ ni wọ́n Nàìjíríà nìyẹn. Àwọn kan máa pààyàn freely wọ́n lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, ṣé wọ́n Nàìjíríà nìyẹn? Sà ẹ má jẹ́ parọ́ fún ẹni tó bá sọ pé àní Ọlọ́run mọ tó ń ṣe, ó máa fi lè jẹ́ kórí àwọn èèyàn pé tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá ti jà fómìnira yín, kò síbi tẹ́ ebi máa pa ẹ̀yin Olúwa androdọlọ Ọlọ́run ti parí iṣẹ́, má máa tọrọ ayín jáde. Ó nù ẹ̀ka Genesis ni, ó lọ́jọ́ kejì òun sì sinmi. Iṣẹ́ wo ló tún fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀? Ọ̀nà Ọlọ́run ló máa bá yín túnṣe. Kí lọ́lọ́run fẹ́ túnṣe? Orí òyìnbó pé ó ní pé mo fẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn mi gbádùn, ó dẹ̀ mú igi, ó mú gbogbo ẹ̀, ó ní òkè ẹ jẹ́ kí n jẹ́ kọ̀nà dà. Ẹ̀jọ̀ sọ́nà Ọlọ́run ló bá wọn ṣe. Sọ́nà ló bá wọn ṣe. Ẹ wá sọ pé kọ́nà wá sọ̀kalẹ̀, ẹ ń tọ́ra yín kó wá ṣe indomie àti rice fún yín kó wá gbé síwájú, ebi máa pa yín dànù. Any question? Yorùbá nation máa wáyé tó bá yá, ẹ má tọ́ra yín.
Ọ̀tọ̀ olóyè Ìgbòho ṣé ó láǹfààní àti wá sí Nàìjíríà ń bí àbí ibi tó wà náà ní kó dúró sí.
Ìyá Bínú Kafasa Káyọ̀dé Makasa, Màlẹ́kà yẹn ṣe báyìí.
Kó má wà
láyé, Màlẹ́kà yẹn ṣe báyìí. Ó ní rárá. Ó ní torí pé wọn ò tí padà lẹ́yìn ẹ̀. Àní Nàìjíríà máa pín látòkè òkun sẹ́ẹ̀.
Nigeria will divide from abroad.
Ẹ tí gbà mí.
Ọdún wo làwọn ń wò? Ọdún wo làwọn ń wò?
Mi ò tí wọ́n fún mi lọ́dún.
They didn't give me the year.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá béèrè lọ́wọ́ mi times 100.
If you ask me 100
Sà, ìjọ ẹ̀mí lélẹ́yìn.
This is a spiritual church.
Wọ́n fún mi ní ọdún. Ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run mọ tó ń ṣe. Ó máa sún ọkàn àwọn èèyàn yẹn lé bí ti Fáráò. Àwọn èèyàn máa ojú àwọn èèyàn máa wá là. And now we want to come out from Egypt. Torí àwọn kan sọ pé wọ́n Nàìjíríà. Ebi ò tí ì pa wọn ni. Sọ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni.
You know. What am I trying to say? For Christ's sake, who created Nigeria? Is it a black man? I don't understand why people are talking about unity of something they did not create. Their grandfathers never created. Nobody made it. A drunken white woman and a lover gave you a name that is worse than Lucifer. And all of you are jumping up and down. You want somebody like Nnamdi Kanu to have regard for you. When you behave like when a baboon is better than you. You cannot reason. Black people, you cannot reason. Some of you think you are educated, you think you're smart, you think you're learned, you think you can reason very well, but you cannot. You can't reason very well. I asked this question before, let me ask it again. Black people, you brought your inferiority, this inferiority complex you feel, you brought it upon yourself. That your suffering is your fault, not the fault of anybody. Can somebody travel from Obomosho? Can you travel from Ife? Can you travel from Bini? Can you travel from Okigwe? Can you travel from Guzo? Can you travel from Nasarawa to Europe and go and create a country for them? A simple question. No idiot can answer it. A simple question. Can you go to Europe and create a country for them? A simple question. But a European man can travel all the way from Europe and come into my land and tell me that Iguacha is now Port Harcourt. And you idiots will be calling it Port Harcourt. Do you see how foolish you are? Do you see how foolish black people are? This Yoji, what is wrong with you people that you cannot reason? There are two people, or there were two people that came into Nigeria. Before they came, every indigenous community were living peacefully. Nobody knew who was a minority or who was a majority, especially in the East, in Biafra land where we come from. The Igbo people never attempted to conquer the Ibibio people because they recognize that they are one, the same blood, the same family. Instead, in Bende, where I come from, we brought in Anan culture, which is Okonko and I think in Arochukwu we even have Ekan in Arochukwu as well. These are the things that I want people to pay very close attention to appreciate the enormity of the disaster confronting each and every one of us. The enormity of the disaster confronting each and every one of us. Do you know that these people came? Fulanese took over the north. Britain took over the south. Lugard continued to march to the north. When Lugard met them in the north, this is something that people do not know. Lugard decided to introduce indirect rule. Do you know how and why Lugard introduced indirect rule? Because the reason why some of you, I was fascinated. I've been doing this research for years. I finished it today. I kept asking myself, why was it possible that Britain came with the Bible, told us about the love of Jesus Christ, but preferred to work with Muslims, killing Christians? I never understood it until it struck me. It was Lugard, the people that taught Lugard how to, should I say, conduct indirect rule are the Fulani people. Because the reason why Britain respects Fulani people, I wouldn't say respect, I would say admire them, is this. The Fulani people were fewer in number, but they were controlling the whole of the north. That included the Hausa people, the Gwari people, the Bachama people, the Birom people, the TV, everybody's there. So Lugard kept wondering, how is it possible that a handful of people with cattle, not that they were educated, no, a handful of people with cattle, how was it possible that these people could dominate and subjugate all these large swathes of land? Then the answer came in the form of indirect rule. It was Fulani people that started indirect rule. When the Fulanis come, all they need to do is to install their emir or their, basically their emir or Sariki. No, Sariki I think is Hausa. Install their emir. Despite the fact that in a village or in a city in the north, in Hausa lands in those days, you will only find one Fulani emir and his council of about maybe 10 or a dozen Fulani people with their wives and their children. You will see them controlling millions of Hausa people. And there was no problem. Britain now said, okay, it is now possible for me to be, as Wadisi, the district commissioner at the top, I now go and appoint warrant chiefs to be reporting to me. That was why it became possible to rule Black Africa, especially West Africa, with very few white men. Indirect rule, they called it. The first people to bring in indirect rule was Fulani Janjaweed, because you have one Fulani man as the emir controlling millions of Hausa people, and they're all loyal to him. That was how indirect rule came in. So Britain now found a natural ally in Fulani people, a natural ally. I said, okay, despite the fact that they're moving cattle from place to place, these people who are fewer in number, but can control all this amount of people, they must be very clever. And I don't blame them. That was how British and the Fulani affinity, so to speak, metamorphosed into the total conquest you're witnessing today. Now, ask yourself this question. Is there any other country in the world where what is happening today in Nigeria could be happening and that nobody's saying anything about it? Remember, I told you many years ago, and I, as I'm always very fond of repeating, I said to you that The Fulani Janjaweed, they have over $30 billion in their war chest to keep Nigeria warm for their total domination. Some of you thought I was joking. Now ask yourself this question. How come Bloomberg hasn't covered what is going on? How come CNN doesn't report the daily killings? Once in a while, they say, oh, school children were abducted. After 4 or 5 hours, that news completely disappears.